everyone, this is Niki Rowland and I have a layout for Bramble Fox to share today. I'm using goodies from the June Fox box, the arrows in particular, and I'm also using these beautiful butterflies, just the pink ones today. So I'm determined to use Paige Evans Wonders. I looked at the colours of those arrows, I really loved them, and both of those appear in the Wonders collection, so I thought I would have a go and use that. And I really fancied fussy cutting some flowers, particularly this sheet. I mean, Paige's collections are full of florals, aren't they? They're so beautiful and just crying out for fussy cutting. So I thought I'd give that a go. So I thought I would use a large piece of the red paper and that has the flowers on the back. So I thought that the other half of the paper I would fussy cut all the flowers. So that's how I started. I went on a bit of a journey with this layout. For some reason, the big red block at the top was bothering me. It just didn't look right. I could have created a layout on it, but it just felt boring. So I was just, what can I do to make things a little bit more interesting? And I ended up with a completely different design to what I had in my head when I started. So it just goes to show that, you know, things change as the layout progresses, and it doesn't matter really if you have a specific plan in your head if it changes. So yeah, I tried this, I tried out these things. I tried the photos there, I tried them higher. I tried to build some floral clusters around all of the two photos. I tried to use all the arrows, and I tried to use one arrow. I tried to use 2 arrows or 3 arrows. So, I'm really, like I said, I really kind of went on a journey here. So this was bothering me. So anyway, then I settled on, as I turned off the camera, and then I settled on this design. So I'm planning to make a box around my layout. So I'm just going to draw that in. So I'm measuring 3 inches in from each edge, which gives me a 6-inch square in the middle. So I'm just drawing that with a pencil and a ruler, making sure that I'm reasonably accurate. I do get it wrong. I have to rub it out at one point. Sorry about my head in shot there. That happens sometimes. So I'm just doing that, drawing it with a pencil. And I realised that this line wasn't quite perfect, so I just rubbed that out and did that one again. Okay, so my plan is to put basically what I really wanted to do was use the arrows as a feature. So rather than just shove them on the layout and and use them as a title or have them above or below something, I wanted them to be part of the design. And that was what I was struggling with and why I couldn't make this layout work prior to this. So I'm glad that I went with this design in the end. So what I did was I drew that box, and then I have a place specifically for the arrows. So I've got 2 there. One says every day. I've gone for a pink one at the top there at the moment that says awesome, but I do swap that one out for a blue one that says original. So now I have this box. I'm now planning to arrange my flowers around the box. And I have these specific spaces for the arrows, and then I'm planning to re-sew through the flowers. I was hoping that the sewing lines would show through in between the different florals. So that's why currently they're all a bit spaced out so that they you can see the stitching beneath. It wasn't because I was particularly wanted to show off my stitching. It was just because I wanted the box to show through so that it read as a square design. But it just wasn't really working that well because the florals are they're not that big actually, but when you're trying to arrange them in a line around a 6-inch square, they end up being quite big or feeling quite big. So you just couldn't see any of the stitching beneath them. So I was like, initially I tried a few different things. So now you can see I'm now layering up all of my flowers into the middle of the box, but no, I didn't like that. Maybe for another day, but it wasn't working for this one. I didn't have enough either. I could have cut out from the rest of the paper, but I just wasn't sure. It didn't quite feel right. So I moved away from that, and I'm going to go ahead and stick them all onto the lines, and then I'm just going to re-sew through the lines so that they can be seen on top of the flowers. It also doubles up as helping me keep my flowers in place. So it's a very useful and practical solution to the problem. So you can see that I am now just adding my flowers. I've added tape to the back of the flowers already, so I'm just arranging them, sticking them, making sure I'm happy with how they're all looking. Obviously, once my flowers are in place, I'm planning to add extra things around the outside as well of this circle frame. But for circle, did I really just say circle? Square frame. So yes, going to add the butterflies. I've got those beautiful paper flowers from Paige. So I'm going to add lots of other bits and pieces around there as well. But I just wanted to make sure that everything was looking good, flowing well with the florals around the frame, and before I stuck everything else down, because then I wanted to re-sew through the flowers. And there we go. You can see that that is all now done. So I have now got my line through the flowers, which stops at the arrows. So the reason I wanted to stop at the arrows was so that for the letters that are open and for the ends of the arrows that are open, you wouldn't be able to see the stitching line through it, just because I didn't want anything to show through those letters or those the ends of those arrows. Is it the tails of the arrows? So yeah. I'm just now I'm trying to sort out my border. So many of you will probably know that I love a border on my layouts, but this red one, I thought, how can I make that work without it being overpowering? And what I decided to do was cut four, and I also didn't have a full sheet either. So I cut 4 strips, 1 inch each, and I stuck them to the back of the layout flush with the edges. And now I can just fold up the edges a little bit. They're already distressed, and now I'm just folding them up using my hands and fingernails, like pushing them up a little bit, and to reveal the red behind it. So that's just a little bit that that I want to just bring in a bit more of that colour. The reason I want to use red on this layout is because my son in the photo is dressed in red and blue, and he is with 3 scarecrows. If you can't tell what they are, it's because their faces are a bit strange. They're a little bit freaky, to be honest. They're pillowcases that have been stuffed, and then I think children have drawn the faces on, but the result is actually a little slightly unnerving. But all the scarecrows are also dressed in the same colour scheme, so they are also wearing bright red tracksuits, and then one of them is wearing navy. So anyway, yeah, so I wanted to bring the red into the layout. That's why I wanted to bring in that red. So I did that just by bringing in that paper around the outside edge, and then of course there's lots of red appearing in the flowers as well. Okay, so now I'm pretty happy with how things are looking and going. I'm just adding in lots of the other things that are going to go around the frame, the floral frame, and embellish the layout. So I've gone for the butterflies. I love the butterflies. I absolutely adore the open ones as well as solid ones. So it's a nice mix to have. They're available now in the shop, and they're not part of the Fox box. They're a separate product. Separate set, and they're available to buy. So, and they come in a set of pinks and like mint green, I think it is called. And you get quite a few of each. So you get 4 sets, I think, of each colour. I think, yeah, the 2 colours. So yeah, so I'm just using the pink ones. I don't think I could have fitted any more butterflies onto this layout. But yeah, so I'll just grabbed a chipboard frame from the Paige Evans Wonders chipboard sheet. That's going under my photo. And I'm just going to also use the little tag that is dark. It's like a dark navy. I think it's called denim. And it's got a little tiny camera etched on the bottom. It's so cute. I'm just adding that at the bottom of my photo in a little cluster to the bottom left of my photo. I tied it through with gold thread as well. And the reason I used gold was because the frame behind the photo has also got gold foiling on, so that tied in really well. So yeah, I will. I've adding in some more hearts. So they are just chipboard from the chipboard sheet. I'm just gluing those down with some extra glossy accents to make sure they don't ping off at a later date. Chipboard has a habit of doing that. Just added the word love there, arrow from the chipboard as well. and just getting everything kind of stuck in place. I've added in already the paper flowers from Paige's Wonders collection. I'm really loving my original arrow and my everyday arrow. They're looking really good, especially with the butterflies as well, in the same colour as the word everyday. I'm just adding in some final touches. I've added in my title as well, Scarecrow Week. I'm now just adding some little label stickers. So they're from the Wonders sticker book. And I've got Take Note, Memory, and Hello there. They're all over there. And now I wanted to add some splatters. I was quite careful about the colour I chose because I wanted to bring in that red tone. I didn't want a really pink spray, so I used one by Shimmers called Caribbean Sunset. So it's like a nice reddy pink. So that worked really well. It was almost an exact match to that red paper around the edge. Okay, so just writing in my journaling. Sorry about my head. It's quite strange. I never get to see my scalp except in these videos. Okay, there I am, all finished. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this layout. I love the floral clusters. They're super duper pretty. And I love those arrows from the fox box and the butterflies. So it's all just wonderful. Thank you so very much for joining me. That was Niki Rowland for Bramble Fox.